Yeah.
Ophi, it's so great to have you
I
here.
know, finally
In
IRL.
person.
It's so good.
I know.
Because we've been chatting for a while, but
Yeah.
just the stars aligned and you're here in New York.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny. I wasn't supposed to come to New York. I was just going to Seattle for NORWAC. And I was going to come back. And I remember you asked me, you said, are you coming to New York or did I dream that? And I was like, oh, no plans to come to New York. And then
Wow.
my intuition was like, go to New York. One day I
Wow.
woke up on my way to NORWAC to go for the conference and I just had an intuitive download. You need to go to New York. Texted you about it. We
Oh my
planned
God.
this. And it's crazy because the transits aligned perfectly. I'm on my Mercury descendant line here in New
Okay.
York. And I have Mercury in Gemini. And so we have the transits going through Gemini right now. The sun and Mercury is hitting my Mercury and then hitting my Venus. And I have my Venus line here too.
Oh my God. I just was somewhere where I had a Venus line and it was really, I didn't want to leave. It was weirdly Miami, but I was like,
Wow.
everything is just happening so
Yes.
effortlessly. So can't wait to talk to you about that. And of course, you did make a pit stop in the other Astro twins' backyard.
Yes.
So
Saw your sister.
maybe we did a little accidental. It's like, I can't just meet one of them.
Yes, I know. So cool. I got to meet you both. And
Yeah.
I've told you this, but you have inspired me to get into astrology. Like you got me into astrology. Your
That is so
books are
cool.
what literally got me into learning about astrology. It's just, I used to tell your website, I like everyone I knew, astrostyle.com, get the
Thank
books.
you.
And I'm just such a fan.
What was it about it that stood out to you?
Your writing, your use of metaphors, your humor. Like the writing is so funny and relatable and approachable. Like you make astrology accessible for everyone to understand, but you infuse joy and humor in it at the same time.
Oh, thank you. Okay, good. I'm
And
glad. I think we need that. Do you think we
Yeah.
take ourselves a little too seriously in this industry
I know.
sometimes? It's a serious science and craft and everything, but I think we can still have fun in the
Yes.
delivery, right?
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
you've bridged two like worlds together, like the mainstream and the like academic ancient astrology world. It's like you've brought them together by
Thank you.
making astrology really cool and really fun.
Good. I guess it was growing up in the 80s with all the magazines. And
Mhm.
got to give a shout out to Sassy Magazine, if you have heard of it, but it was
Yes.
an iconic teen magazine where they it was inspired by an Australian magazine called Dolly, and it was just shockingly different from all the other teen magazines. And we
Wow.
ended up working there and interning there, but they just wrote in a conversational tone. It's like, oh, like it's just a reminder. Authenticity does attract and inspire. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if we had anything to do with your awesome career, then I'm honored.
Oh,
Because I
and
think you're doing that with astrocartography, which
Yeah.
it's something that our audience is super curious about. And I
Mhm.
didn't really pay that much attention to it till I met you. So your videos on Instagram got us really interested, and everybody who I talk to is always referring or referencing you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
That's
I'll
so
ask you
cool.
I'm going to ask you my burning questions about it,
Yeah.
because I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to understand how this works.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
weird because I didn't learn about it till 2018 when I moved to France.
Huh.
Moved to France on my Venus IC line, and I felt home for the first time in my life. I loved eastern, northeast France and the Alsace region. Instantly fell in love, instantly felt at home. And I've never felt at home anywhere in the world before. And moved here, was traveling, was listening to a podcast on Earth vortex centers and how certain places in the world hold energies. That sent me down a rabbit hole on Google. Like, do places have energies? Are there like certain places in the world that hold certain, stories for you and energies for you? Found astrocartography. And then I became obsessed with it. And then it wasn't until 2021, years later, that I started my business and I opened up consultations. But I was just doing free astrocartography readings for everyone. I would have parties, like
Oh, yeah.
Halloween parties, Christmas parties, white elephant, and I'd be like, tell me your map. Let me look at your map.
Totally. I didn't think this was going to be my career. It was an
Yeah.
accident. I was in publishing, but I was like,
Wow.
I'm obsessed because I just want everyone to know this.
Yeah.
That just made me think about something, because I feel like, what I did also after working at Sassy was Tali and I started a magazine that was about identity, and it was called Hues, Hues, and it was the first nationally distributed multicultural glossy women's magazine. It was
Wow.
inclusive in every way, but it was a lot about
Yeah.
like people connecting to where they were from. But
Wow.
your story just gave me another insight, because sometimes you don't feel like you're from where you're from. I mean, just on the way up here, I was just in the lobby chatting with the guy, the security guard. And he was singing, and I was like, "What are you singing?" He's like, "Billy Idol." He's like, "I grew up in Jamaica, and we loved Billy Idol there. And now I go to Eastern European bars, and I just traveled to the Republic of Georgia,
Wow.
and they love Tupac and Barry White, but I love Billy Idol." I was like, all right, you're this Jamaican man and you're identifying with Georgia. I was like, I gotta send Helena down here to do astrocartography after this.
Yes.
But I mean, people sometimes are shamed for relating to another culture, like you're co-opting it. But what if you have, and I'm not minimizing that people do co-opt other cultures disrespectfully, but what if they have some, astro magic there?
Yeah. And your map literally shows that story. Even if you don't travel to that place, even if you don't move to that place, your map shows you stories and power places of where you feel an affinity, a connection, a relationship to different parts of the world. So even if you never go there, like you might have a friend there, and that friend is really important in the overall life direction of your story. And you've got a relationship line or a Venus line going right through where that person lives.
Okay, yeah. I have so many friends from London, for example, or like Nigerian, Pakistani. Like it's, I got to check on those places. Well, let me ask you the 101, because I've been doing the wheel chart. I've branched into human design, but it's fascinating to see how the chart turns into a world map. Like, what are the actual mechanics? Does it start with your birthplace? How much is your birth time? I know you need that for proper astrocartography, but how does it work when there's a line from a planet?
Yeah, so the lines you see on your map were created by Jim Lewis. Jim Lewis popularized the mapping techniques. But essentially what it's based on is what's called relocation charts. And so you take your birth chart, and it's as if you were born in a different part of the world, but at the same moment. So your birth time will shift. The date may even shift. Like if you were born in Japan, you might be born the next day, right? And so all you're shifting is the location, and then automatically the time will shift and the date will shift.
Okay.
So if you were born on that part of the world, what is the story? You get a relocation chart. And this is like a subsidiary chart feature, kind of like a secondary progress chart or
A solar return.
solar return chart. Yeah.
Because I've done a relocation chart where it was like, what does my chart look like when I'm in Barcelona? Oh, all my planets that are in the 10th house go to the 6th house. But I don't know if it remapped my actual birth time. So is that what happened? Like
it should.
Okay.
Yeah, it should automatically change the time in like a software.
Okay. Well, that would make sense. So it technically usually moves the houses.
Yeah.
Maybe a moon sign could change? Or...
Well, the moon side would stay the same. So that's a big thing. The planets will all stay at the same degree and the same zodiac sign. The only thing that shifts is the house placement.
Okay, yeah, that's what I noticed.
Thing that changes. Yeah. And the other thing that will shift is you'll get new aspects to angles. So like you might have Mars squaring the ascendant.
Oh, got it.
So
because
the
they're in different houses.
Yeah. And that's kind of what the maps are based on, is like, so we take the relocation chart, wherever the planets are angular or on angles. That's essentially what astrocartography maps are. It's really based on the 4 angles in astrology: ascendant, descendant, midheaven, IC. And so what Jim Lewis does, it's almost like you're taking that relocation chart and you're looking down and you're putting those planets down and casting them on the map from where the planets were on angles in that chart. And so
not all planets are on angles.
Yeah, no. Like, so like for instance, where I live in France, I have Saturn on the ascendant, Venus on the IC, but I don't have anything on the midheaven or anything on the descendant. So there's no planets on those angles or close to those angles by degree. Yeah.
So I'm thinking about my chart. I've got Jupiter on the ascendant. I've got the moon, the midheaven, and nothing on the IC or DC. But I have a Pluto line, and Pluto's in my 8th house, not near an angle.
Yeah, so
how
it
does
wouldn't
that
be.
part work?
So it wouldn't be near an angle. So you wouldn't have a Pluto line.
Oh.
So if it's not on an angle in that location that you're looking up.
Oh, in the location.
Yeah,
Oh,
in the
I see.
location.
So what it does is makes like a million different charts.
Yes.
Relocated
With a
to
click of a
every
button.
place on the map.
Yeah.
And so, because I have a Pluto descending line, descendant or descending?
Descendant.
Descendant line.
Both. Or you can also
I've
say
seen both,
setting
yeah.
too. It's setting
Okay,
as well.
yeah, astro jargon
I know.
has variety.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And that's in Paris,
see.
right? Or you have a Pluto
in
MC?
London.
London, you have that. Okay.
London, I have a Pluto DC. Okay, so what that means is my chart gets remapped as though I was born in London, and then Pluto goes down into like near the 7th house, near the
Exactly.
descendant.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
not astrocartographers, locational astrologers. Locational astrology is like a big umbrella term. It's like a big overall, the field of astrology in place. But then within that umbrella is like astrocartography, which is the mapping of like the planets on angles, where they are, and then casting them down on the map. Where is that line going through when a planet's on an angle? So that's astrocartography, Jim Lewis's work. And then we have relocation charts, which is, I always couple that with astrocartography because you can't really use one without the other. But that's just looking at charts. And some people just look at relocation charts.
Yeah.
Like they won't even look at an astro map. Then you have local space, which is Michael Irwine's creation, which is, it's so different, but it's essentially you're putting these lines from a new location and then you're casting them in the direction. If there were no houses and you're just casting them out, they will go in different directions. That's another technique.
Is that
called
like
local
good if you don't
space.
know your birth time?
Yeah, it's really helpful for that. And geodetic astrology too is really good if you don't have a birth time. So
what in your chart makes you like such a good student of this? 'Cause
Ooh,
I feel
I
like
would
you
say-
consume it,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I would say it's probably the Mercury and Gemini, but
Okay.
also Jupiter and Scorpio on the
Oh
ascendant.
God, yeah. I was like, I feel Scorpio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like passionate and intense. And I also have it with Pluto in the North Node. So it just kind of ramps up the volume a little bit.
Okay, that's funny. Yeah.
But it's like when I get interested in something, I become obsessed. Like I eat, breathe, sleep it. I can't put it down.
Same. I think, do you think you're an alien?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is kind of controversial, but I've always connected to like when I was in high school, I would read about like earth angels or star seeds, and I always kind of vibed with that. I was like, I'm not from this planet.
The Pleiades on my arm.
Ooh,
I first got this one,
magical.
the Strength Tarot card, and then I was like,
Wow.
you know what? I'm 45. Who cares? Do another one. Let's just get this all over
Yes.
with. Yeah.
I love the Strength Tarot card. It's one of my favorites.
yeah.
Is that a personal like connection?
Yeah,
to
the goddess Cybele is on here, and that's what I named my daughter.
Wow.
So by accident, didn't realize it. So
that's
yeah,
magical.
yeah.
And you feel connected to Pleiades?
I did. I read this book, Bringers of the Dawn. So I would joke around that as a Pleiadian, but
I love
it's
it.
the Seven Sisters and I have
Yeah.
a Cancer South Node. I feel like a symbol of like cosmic woman power.
I
for
love
me.
it. And so you're Capricorn North Node?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool. You have that in the first.
in the first.
Oh, I
yeah.
love it. We both have North Node in the first, South Node in the seventh.
Oh, isn't that funny? Okay, and
Yeah.
you work with your husband. I work with my twin. I was joking, I was
Yes.
born married. So
Oh my gosh. How is that? How is that like with you and Tali? Have you guys traveled together and had similar experiences or similar themes, or like you like the same places?
a lot of the time, I think
Really?
because our rising sun is just 1 degree apart, so I think we must have the same maps.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like we were in
Yeah.
Barcelona and people recognized us on the street. We're like, what's going on here?
Wow.
But I forgot what I have there. I think it might be a Venus.
yeah.
So let's talk about those 4 angles.
Yeah.
So what does it mean when so what I gather is that
Mhm.
when your relocation chart says you have a Venus ascending, that means in that area your chart has been remapped
Mhm.
and Venus is close to your rising sun
Yeah.
or ascendant. Okay. So
Mhm.
what are the qualities of an ascendant descendancy? And
Mhm.
and an IC and MC. Like, let's go through that.
Yeah. So I would say the most important one to start with is the ascendant, because that's you.
Yeah.
It's if that planet was rising when you were born in that location, it's like you are emanating that energy.
Okay.
So if you have Venus rising, you might find that you love the arts. You're really connected to creativity, self-expression. Ooh, let me turn this off real quick. I just realized we're still going.
Oh,
I was starting to record.
Oh, that's so funny on your gimbal.
Totally forgot about that.
You're like, yeah, I'll have absolutely no battery on my phone later.
Do you want me to charge that?
Oh, no, it's okay. It's all good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, thanks though. So
it's the ascendant is visibility.
Yeah.
So if you want to be seen, is it a good idea to go somewhere where you have a planet or a specific? Not all planets are equal. So let's just say you had Pluto, which is very hidden, but on your ascendant in an area. Would you be seen as more intense there? Would you exude? Would people maybe, how might that work out?
Yeah, like if you have Pluto on the ascendant, you might find that you're a researcher. You might find that you're really into neuroscience or psychology, or like helping people get to the root of any challenges in their life. Like someone that I really look up to, she owns a business where she helps people with neuroscience, and it's Pluto ascendant. I'm like, of course, like you tapped into that story.
Deep.
Yeah, of like helping people change their minds and see their past in a different way and get to the root of their childhood and their past to like alchemize it and come out of it more powerful. So it's almost like you become an alchemizer, a transformist, more powerful, more personally
So it's what
empowered.
you present as in an ascendant area.
Yeah.
Like people will see you that way. You won't have to work hard to, I'm a neuroscience now. And they don't go, really?
Yeah. And like I was born in California with Jupiter rising on the ascendant. So there's that energy of like enthusiasm and energy.
Yeah, we both have that too. I have
Yes,
Jupiter on my ascendant at
So
11
cool.
degrees and 11 minutes. So
Oh my God. And it's so wild. I was just at Norwalk and I went to Austin Kopic's lecture on the nodes with planets. And I learned about Jupiter North Node is like we're obsessed with gathering wisdom and travel, learning, esoteric knowledge. It's like voracious readers and researchers.
we both have that. Okay,
Yes,
there it is.
There it is. That's what it is. Jupiter the North Node.
I mean, a year ago, I decided I was sick of not understanding human design. Like I was like, where is the astrology behind this? So I just like inhaled it.
Wow.
Like a bong at a frat party. And, I was just like, I'm obsessed now. But I'm obsessed with now. Like I took it apart and I'm like, I'm going to reteach it to astrologers from an astrology perspective.
I love it. I can't wait to take that, by the way. I'm so excited.
I can't wait to finish it already. I feel like, I just want to finish this.
It's a big
class,
project.
but it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
There are a lot of layers, but so it's, thank you. That makes so much sense.
It's the Jupiter
to me.
North Node, yeah.
Totally.
And then when I moved to France, I have Saturn now rising on the ascendant.
Oh.
It's kind of like the opposite.
You have a business?
Yeah. It's like that's where I started my business.
Seen as an authority.
Exactly. And it's like that's where like that started. And also just taking my time really seriously, like taking my work really seriously. And there was just a shift in tone. I also have the Venus IC line there too. So it's slowing down. I think of that with Saturn too, is like slowing down and being more careful and methodic and, planning things more, being aware
Saturn
of time.
in Pisces?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So just finished my Saturn return. And that was actually when I started teaching. The first month of my Saturn return, I started teaching astrocartography in my locational astrology course. And that was literally when it began.
First month of my Saturn return, I got my first astrology column at Teen People. So go figure.
Oh my gosh.
That's when I started doing it professionally.
Wow.
That was in 2000. So
wow.
Gemini and Gemini.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So that Saturn return is so important. And do you have a day chart? Like your sun's above the horizon. So Saturn is more constructive for you. So your Saturn return was more like, getting you on your path, bringing you into the public. That's incredible. I mean, you've done so much. People, like you've worked with celebrities. You've done it all in the astrology industry.
There weren't as many people who wanted to do astrology in this way.
Yeah.
There were, I think being a twin, it kind of stood out.
Yeah.
And I had already been in media and had a magazine. So I guess I had some, and I was building websites. So I guess I kind of knew how to package a message. It wasn't in an intentional way. I was like, wouldn't it be more fun? Well, actually,
Yes.
it's funny. We were at Teen People, and then Jupiter was in Scorpio, and I, as a horoscope writer, I still follow like where the sun sign is. I was like, all right, this is the year before when Jupiter's in the sign before yours. There's an ending or transition, and we got the call from Teen People like a couple weeks after it went in, like we're closing the magazine, and it was well timed because I was like, I mean, I'm sad to lose the money, but
Right.
I also feel like I don't want to write for teens anymore. I'm not, I'm older. I was looking, I finished my Saturn return. I was like, I want to write for adults. And it's like, let's do like a lifestyle magazine on the web, but make it astrology. And people didn't understand that. They were like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that sounds cool. So I was like, we're just gonna have to build this,
Yeah.
which that's what I always did. I'm a builder. So I was like,
Yes.
okay, they'll get it when they see it.
Oh,
So I spent all
wow.
summer, and my friend Gabe, who's a fire horse, taught me how to do CSS so I could make style sheets. And yeah, we just launched the first iteration of it the day Jupiter went into Sag. I think it was like November 23rd, 2006.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, we're launching it today.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it was the foundation. It was
I
like we
love
had
it.
like fashion and pets and home decor and of course a big love section.
Yeah. And the
So
horoscopes
yeah.
are brilliant.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I
Every
love
morning I
writing.
would wake up and like read it and like eagerly see what the day had. You were just brilliant at all of it. Branding,
Thank
marketing,
you.
messaging, writing, the astrology. You've just put it all together so beautifully.
Well, now I love teaching people that. We have our Astropreneurs program, and I work with private clients. Like,
Yeah.
I love helping people figure out what their brand should be because,
Mhm.
I mean, you know, you're dealing with the controversy of this right now. Someone tried to
Oh, I know.
trademark the
I
word
know.
astrocartography and got away with it in France. We'll get into that. But to
Yeah.
me, that is just the absolute wrong way to go about it.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
just trying to like pee on the fire hydrant of any spiritual
Yeah.
modality. It's just, you've got it backwards.
I know.
Do better, find your own way,
Mhm.
differentiate yourself instead of trying
Yeah.
to colonize the cosmos,
I know. I know. And it's felt like betrayal, honestly. The last like week,
It's
four,
your
3, 4 days.
student.
I know. I've been in shock. Like it feels like whiplash. I still feel like I'm still adjusting and trying to figure out what to say about all this. But it's so disheartening when you give so much. Like I give a lot to my students. All my students can attest
Your
that like
Jupiter.
I know. It's like I
7th
say
house,
it's an
South
hour
Node.
call and we go for 4 hours, or like I give them 4 bonus calls. Like I give a lot.
Totally. Yeah, we do too. And I think that's good. I
Yeah,
believe in the generosity
yes.
model.
And it means you care and you love what you do and you want to give a lot to your students. But it's like when this kind of thing happens, it's like it just feels like a slap in the face. And it's crazy, Ophi, because yesterday I was at lunch and I was trying to find an email from someone. And somehow I was putting this person's name in my email and I ended up finding her email because she was talking about that astrologer in the email. So I found this whole new email series from this woman who trademarked astrocartography and sent me a letter, an email basically saying, I own astrocartography, like, basically, essentially threatening me with legal
like
action.
Cease and desist.
Yeah. Well, she hasn't sent a legal cease and desist yet, but she sent it to my student. She sent a legal one to my student. So we'll see what she says next because I had my lawyer send her a letter. So we'll see what happens next. But essentially in the email thread from over a year ago, she was saying, you're the best astrocartography teacher. You're the best in the business. I tell everyone about you.
Publish those.
I know. And she even said, and then another email thread, it was like, I want to sing it from the rooftops about your certification, how it's the best one on the market, all this. Like, please let me know if there's an affiliate program. And it's just like, how do you go from all these emails of love and support and cheering you on and like, I'm your biggest fan for your work. I want to share it with everyone, to literally threatening me with legal action for using the word astrocartography. Like, I like still
How
am
do you do
adjusting.
that? you have to shut down. You either were never connected to your soul or you have to shut it down. And you have really bought into the illusion of scarcity.
Yeah.
I mean, she might as well be Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or Sam, this whole like crush your it's this patriarchy on
Yeah.
steroids mindset of, kill off the competition and own it. But you've also killed off the market if you do that.
Yes.
If you are not confident enough in what you have to offer that you want to just destroy anyone who's like you, then you don't really actually believe in yourself. And
Yeah.
people will feel that and they won't believe in you. So in 2019, I think it was 2019 when Co-Star came out, and I think the pattern was starting to get big. For a long time, it was like us and Susan Miller. And people would read both of ours, and we're friends, and are always like saying nice things about each other.
Yeah.
And then the apps started to get VC funding. I know Eliza Kelly had tried an app. She was just too early. So,
Wow.
before that. And then it just was the timing of it all. So Co-Star came out and they had $5 million of venture capital. It got written up, all the paper. I think they hired a publicist, which was very smart. I've met the founder. She's
Yes.
very savvy. She's Scorpio.
Wow.
And she's a businesswoman.
Yeah.
And we had coffee and had a great talk. But it rattled me because I was like, I was kind of laboring under this illusion a little bit of like, I know I write insane amounts of content. It would probably be hard for a lot of people to keep up with that. But if they can, great. There's also two of us. But always in the back of my mind, I was like, and at any point, an industry can get disrupted by a new technology. And that happened.
Wow.
And it was a little rattling because, I do make some of our money from Google ads, or not just Google ads, but ads. So if we lose traffic and ranking, this is how we pay the bills and pay our staff and keep things going. It's the nature of a business. So it was a threat, through our business, but also an opportunity to go, well, what is the thing that we love to do the most? What, AI is doing that now too for a lot of astrologers. What makes us so unique that it would be harder for someone to copy? What do I love to give, and the people I love to give to, what do they love to receive? And if you focus on that, you will always find people that you can serve. So she's not in a mindset of service.
Yes.
She's in a self-service mindset.
Yeah.
And that means you have a really tiny cup instead of an ocean.
Yeah.
So
I know. And one of the things I've been trying to think about, and I've been talking with some other astrologers about this, is like, what was the point of this aside from ownership? Because she says online that she's told other astrologers from Continuum, which is Jim Lewis's foundation for astrocartography, and he was the guy, who made it. But she essentially said that it was to preserve and protect Jim Lewis's legacy, which sounds
how lovely.
wonderful. Like, I love
the gaslighting of the
I
narcissist.
know, but it just sounds like. But there also feels like there was some scheming involved because she trademarked it so fast.
Yeah.
She trademarked it so quickly, and then she filed the EU trademark. So now she's trying to trademark it for the EU. She owns France for astrocartography, and now she's trying to do the EU. It's like, and she filed it right after the other. So it's like, what was the plan with this? Was it actually good intent and like based from service, or was it?
I don't think so.
No.
I think it's self-service. Yeah, I almost feel like, wouldn't it, what do I know? But, it'd be kind of funny if people just ignored it and kept and let her sue you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking now recently of how Elon Musk tied Sam Altman up in court for 444 days. Elon, we have our other episode about the financial cycles.
Oh, yes,
so
yes.
I'll
link that.
Yeah.
We'll link it. We'll link the
talk a little bit
episode.
about it there.
Yeah.
Well, so I was looking at when OpenAI was created in 2015 as a nonprofit by Sam Altman, Elon Musk, and some other tech bros. And then it was meant to do good. But then in 2019, greedy Sam Altman decided to make part of it for profit. And that's when all the problems have started. So, but what what people are saying that Elon Musk did was he tied up Sam Altman in court for all that time so he could get his SpaceX launch ready. So what I'm thinking about that is she could end up in court. Like, you're going to spend all your time tied up in lawsuits, suing people instead of practicing astrocartography.
Yeah.
That could happen. Like,
Yeah.
it just doesn't sound like a very well thought out plan.
No.
And one that could really backfire.
And it's wild because I've started seeing other astrocartography trademarks, like for the US, but for other companies. Like there's one company that has the name in their name of their company or whatever. And it's just like, I knew this would happen
Mhm.
back in 2021 when I started my business. The reason I started my business was because I went into meditation and I asked, God, the universe, I said, tell me what I need to do because I feel like I'm on the brink of a pivot and I need to change. And it was so clear. It was, you need to talk about astrocartography online. It was that simple. It was just, you need to talk about it. So I made
Cool.
a YouTube video.
Jupiter and
I posted
Scorpio.
a blog, started my business. I went full-time within 6 months. It just has been growing ever since. But I knew back then that it was going to be huge. Like astrocartography was going to be mainstream. Everyone was going to know their astrocartography lines just as easily as they knew their sun, moon, rising. And
It seems like they do. Like,
Yeah.
people are like, oh, I have a Jupiter line
Yeah.
here. I hear
And-
people saying that.
And I've been like pushing this wave and posting every day about it. And now it's big. Like, I mean, Moxie Hotels, Royal Caribbean Cruises has reached out to me. Like,
really? That's so cool.
it's crazy, like how
Yay.
mainstream this is. But now I'm concerned that like kind of like the shift with apps, it's like all these AI apps that are now coming out. Now I'm seeing, so it's just kind of controversial, but I'm seeing like these influencers that aren't astrologers, but they're like tool people. Like they're all about like bringing tools to their audience to help them, which I love. Like, please talk about astrocartography, please. The more people that know about this, the better. But they're teaching courses about astrocartography, but they don't know how to read charts.
Yeah.
They don't know how to read about like, oh, it's Jupiter and Scorpio. Oh, and there's a square to Mars or there's a square to Saturn. Like they don't know how to interpret, oh, what is your sun like? What is your moon line like?
Well, at risk of sounding like Mel Robbins, or rather the woman she co-opted from Let Them.
yes.
Because what'll happen, this is what happened. People started saying like, co-star pissed me off or scared me. So I came to you to really understand. I was like, great. Please do your chart on
Oh.
co-star and save
Yes.
it. I don't have an app like that yet. So go right ahead.
Yeah.
And then when you really want to understand, I have teaching and knowledge for
Mhm.
you. So I'm not going to compete at that
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
So let them
Let
make
them,
their
yeah.
apps. And then when they need,
That's
Yeah.
another piece of tea. The let them idea. I've made videos about this idea of let them way before Mel Robbins ever came out with it. Many people
Oh, yeah.
have had this idea, have thought about this, have shared about it online. And it's like, she filed a trademark to try
she's
to
a little
get-
bit like that astrocartographer.
She's
I
like
think,
wants to own let them, and she can't. It's a universal idea that everyone, I'm sure, has thought of at one point. Like when you get really mad at someone or like someone causes you harm, it's like, just let them misunderstand me. Let
But
them
what
reject
she's
me.
doing and what this other woman is doing is like they're
Yeah.
doubling down. It's almost like you've been caught doing something ick.
Yes.
And I mean, in the case of Mel Robbins, like taking a woman of color's work as your
know.
own, like maybe you didn't know, maybe you did, but
Mhm.
like it would really, the egg is all over your face
Yeah.
and you've been like rubbing it in like a mask, but but for F's sake, just stop
I
now and be
know.
like, you know what? I am the biggest jerk on the planet because I've been protecting my ego
Yeah.
at the expense, and I'm doing harm. And that's again, do no harm.
Do no harm.
That is the 101 of it all. Are you doing harm by trying to trademark astrocartography? Absolutely. You're
Yeah.
hurting all these well-intentioned people who
Yeah.
have invested time, money, and resources.
I mean, my own student was sent to cease and desist, and that's her livelihood. She does
Well,
astrocartography
exactly.
in France to people who
Exactly.
speak French. How is she supposed to get clients? She sent her a cease and desist and said she can't use it for consultations, education, anything, any type of promotion. So
Yeah.
she had to change her bio. She had to change all the wording on her website.
I mean, it's one thing if someone takes your brand name, like,
Right.
there was a guy who was trying to publish a book called Astro Style. he followed us on
Oh my
Instagram, and we had to
gosh.
send a cease and desist. He was actually our SEO
Yeah.
manager found it
Mhm.
it was coming up in search,
Yeah.
and it was going to be like a home style. I was like, please do that, but just call it something else. He even had gotten a book deal from my original publisher,
Wow.
which has been sold and
Wow.
resold. It was originally Seal Press. It was like, hey, knock knock. I actually have they didn't publish Astro Style. That was Simon and Schuster, but they published my body image book, Adios Barbie, in the 90s. And it was just so weird because I was like, guy, what are you thinking?
I
Like,
know.
just
It's awful. And I'm worried
call
that
it
this is going to be
Astrology Style. I don't
Yeah,
care, you know?
Yeah. I'm worried that this is going to happen more though with Uranus and Gemini, Pluto and Aquarius. It's all this air, mental, like owning of words, the war on
Exactly. The
words.
war over words. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
I had this happen recently, actually. It was like literally my solar return chart, the lot of necessity. I love using the 7 hermetic lots and
Ooh,
transits
cool.
and solar return charts. But Mars, the day that Mars transited and hit my lot of necessity, which is associated with contracts, legal matters, issues, squabbles, arguments, the day that happened, I find out that someone who used to follow me is publishing a book on astrocartography called Cosmic Compass, which is my trademark, with a big
Oh.
publishing house. And I had to send an email to this publishing house being like, have you done any research?
That's what also like shocks me.
Right? It's like your job
You
is
have a legal
literally-
department. That's all you are as a
That's literally
publisher.
what you're
the
supposed
contracts.
to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. How have
Yeah.
you not done any research to see that I own a trademark of Cosmic Compass with astrocartography and I'm creating all these things with it? Like, how do you, and they announced it publicly to the people. And I was like, how do you announce it?
And did they change the name?
Yeah, they said they were going to change
I
it. yeah.
mean, do yourself a favor if you're an astrologer out there thinking that you'll just kind of pluck someone else's trademark name.
know.
It's like,
I know.
do the research,
And I'd be
it's easy enough to do, but
I
if you're an
know.
actual, like, it can happen by accident.
Yeah.
I gave the guy who did the Astro Style thing the benefit of the doubt, but then I saw that he followed us. I was like, no, he's aware.
Yeah.
Just like that person was. Like,
Yeah.
why? Like,
I would be curious what your thoughts are on this because this has been a sensitive topic for me recently. It's like when you kind of create a movement or you get a lot of momentum with something and like people start taking your words or people start taking your slang, your lingo.
well, that happened to me because I actually came up with the word retro shade in 2018.
Oh,
and then it was in
my-
Refinery 29. I mean, I was on
Oh my God, Ophi, you came up with that?
Yes, but I feel like I'm like, it's like, I feel like I'm Gretchen Wiener and Mean Girls saying that my dad invented Post-its, or was that
Oh, right.
Clueless? I don't remember. It was like one of those toaster strudel. Post-its was Clueless. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I just, because I make these portmanteaus.
Yes.
So, and then I was like, wait, people are starting to use it. I was like, and I had a moment of like, that's my word. And I was like, oh, fuck it. You know,
I
like,
know.
oh, well, it's like,
I know.
I was on like a local news thing. They didn't know any, like in LA, and they were like, and it's the retro shade. I was like, okay, well, okay, funny. How funny.
I like to, so how I've kind of like made peace with it too, because it's like all these slangs, words I've made with astrocartography, like they're on books and like everyone uses the same wording now. And I'm just like, I hope people know that I started it. That's like my ego talking, right?
I felt like that for a long time. I mean, people follow our syntax or the synonym, the adjectives that we use. Like, I mean, Susan Miller would like, dear this. I see people doing that.
Yes.
I think they read it and it just kind of gets in the back of their brain.
And they don't realize
think about
they're taking it. I know. They don't
I'm sure I've done it, but I really try to be hyper vigilant.
Yeah.
Like we're never using the word dear. That's a Susan Miller thing,
right.
like, but I'll say like feisty Mars or whatever. Maybe it's something. It's something to be mindful of because why do that? Yes. You know what? I now at this point, I'm like, then just come up with something better.
Yeah.
Keep going. Then what? Here.
And also connect with your intuition. All my ideas, I really thank God, like I'm always like, thank you for giving that my idea. Everything is channeled. I don't use AI for my writing. Everything
I don't
comes
either.
from my intuition. I meditate. I go into my journal. I say, hey, God, what do you want me to talk about today? And like things come through me as I'm writing in my journal. Or like I'll be going
Yeah.
for a walk and I'll be like, tell me what I should tell the people today. And like things flow through me. And that's how I get my ideas. And so when people do take my words, I'm like, well, that wasn't mine. That was God's words.
The best thing you can do is keep that mindset.
Yeah.
Hard as it is, the
Yeah.
ego does
I
come
know
in.
the ego comes in and then I'm like, no.
Because, you know, we have our north nodes in the first house. So we
Yes.
are also kind of karmically fighting for visibility.
Yeah.
The 7th house south node is like, we've always been like, the give, here, take it and take credit for it. And we're
Yeah.
supposed to kind of make sure we get acknowledged and seen for what we do.
Yeah.
And that is going to happen. And it's a beautiful opportunity to be like, well, what did I miss? What did I not? Maybe I need to be a little more, you know, like you'll get your book deal and it'll be great. But with the first house north node, sometimes
I know.
I mean, we had a TV show, but they decided to have people talk to a crystal ball instead of us. It was when the south node was in my sign.
Oh,
and then they had us
gosh.
voiced over
in Capricorn.
The south node was in Sag when we filmed the show. It was my idea. It was taken to Amazon Prime. So I walk onto this lot in Malibu. And I'm like, an idea that I had at a meeting is now a 250 person lot with craft services and the bachelor mansion. And I mean, that was awesome. But yeah, they had me and Tali talking into the contestants' ears through an earpiece while they talked to a crystal ball and heard us. And then in the final production, voiced over us with Cree Summer, who was on the Rugrats and A Different World in the 90s. And was like, I'm like kind of imitating Tali's way of doing it, but it sounded really like, I was joking, it sounds like rich, creamy, buttery astrology, you know? And I was like, this is so North Node. If I didn't know the astrology, but it was also like, it was a painful reckoning when that happened, but I was also like, yeah, I guess I'm not supposed to do this as my main thing. And it hasn't, they all thought it was going to probably go bigger. So they didn't want to have us, they did a French version and that's it. It went nowhere without the true heart and soul.
Exactly.
And that's what you have to remember too. Great. Good luck, babe. You know?
And that's why following those trends is so important. I mean, the south node going over your sun, that's literally like being overlooked.
Yeah, it was. I was like, well, this is interesting timing, but oh well, you know. Got to live in Malibu for 7 weeks, got paid for it, you know, met one of our best friends. And I'm like, you know what? What an amazing experience. Now I'm past my Chiron return now. Well, I'm about to end it. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Thank you for this amazing life. I got to be an astrologer for 25 or 30 years.
Yeah.
And make a living at it.
I know.
For
you get
like
to read
20 of those. Yeah,
so
like
cool.
this is, you know.
What a cool, I know.
I'm going to the New York Stock Exchange for the second time for a party because I advise people who are like, have all these women CFOs. And I mean, the things I've gotten to do, I wouldn't trade. So who cares?
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Fucking replace me with a crystal ball.
I know.
You know?
And I always think about, like, as a Scorpio rising, I'm always thinking about the big picture of, like, we're going to be gone someday. And, like,
exactly.
people are going to move on. We're going to be forgotten.
No one's going to remember a damn thing.
So who cares? Like, have fun.
Right.
Do what you love. Light up the world while you're here, you know?
Yeah. I've done a lot of Kabbalah classes and like that is one. I love David Guillaume, who's an Aquarius. He was my original Kabbalah teacher in 2011. Now he's gone off and made his own brand.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love how he kind of brings like the pop culture relatability to it. It's such a reminder, like, wow, what a beautiful, one of the things they teach in Kabbalah is just be like, what a pleasure, what a beautiful opportunity to reckon with my ego. Look at what's happening.
I love it. Oh, I love that so much. I love
Yeah.
his teachings. I've taken
Ah.
one of his courses.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do
so
you have?
good.
You said Malibu. Don't you have a Neptune line going through the west coast of
I
the
have,
United
I think,
States?
yeah, I do.
It's a
I
Neptune.
do.
Neptune's
And
media.
Saturn in LA.
Oh, you have
But
Saturn in LA.
Sun in Montecito, where
Oh,
things have been really
wow.
Santa Barbara. I actually got this dress, even though it's not much of a dress, but I wear it all the time from Santa
Wow. I
Barbara.
love it. I mean, because
Mm.
Neptune is like media, cameras.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of actors have Neptune lines going through LA, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you're in the
Oh,
business.
interesting. I don't think I've Neptune in LA. I might. I'd have to, you know what? I need to look at my chart with you,
And
but
yeah, and here's another thing. For your listeners, like you don't have to live on a line. There's an orb of influence. So you could be
Ah.
hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, how far is that orb of
Yeah.
like? Because people ask me that. I do peek at their charts sometimes. I go, I think you have Venus. Here.
Yeah.
I see Venus ascending, and then I do
Yeah.
my bet. I'm like, you'll have to go to Helena, but this
Yeah.
is what I see.
The official rule is 700 miles.
700
but
miles?
I
Okay.
like to put people within 250 miles
Okay.
of a line. And so, like, even if you're quite a distance, like, I'm not directly on my Saturn or my Venus line. I'm like a couple hundred miles away from like Venus. But it's like that is part of the story because it's only a few
Okay.
degrees off of my IC. And
Okay.
so with you could measure miles, you could measure degrees, and you'll see in the relocation chart, like, oh, Neptune is 3 degrees off of your ascendant instead
Oh,
of being
cool.
right on the degree of your ascendant. And so that's the line will show you, oh, there's distance from it. But you're still getting that story, that energy. It is part of it.
cool.
It's just not like you haven't cranked it up to
Okay.
1,000.
Do you teach that in your locational
Yeah.
astrology course?
Yeah.
Okay, good. 'Cause
Teach
we're
about the orbs of
definitely.
influence. I teach about relocation charts and all of
Oh,
that.
good. I mean, I'm gonna take it anyway, so I can't wait.
Yeah.
But that's on my summer list.
But your sun line too, you have in California.
Yeah. So so explain a little more. Like, so we talked about an ascendant line. That's maybe how you're viewed in a place.
Mhm.
The IC is at the bottom of the chart, so that's home.
Yeah.
So if you have a planet near an IC line somewhere, what is that? Is that a place that you might be comfortable living, or if it's Mars or Pluto, maybe not?
Yeah.
Like,
If it's Mars or Saturn specifically, or even Uranus, they can be challenging places for living.
okay.
Especially Mars IC. Mars IC is one of those lines that I don't recommend really
I
anyone
can't
live
imagine
on.
like that's because Mars is this intense action, and then the IC is home, so it's like you can never calm down or feel
Yeah.
settled. It could be conflict, and
Exactly.
so my dad was born in Bulgaria, and his family escaped during World War II and from communism, and went to Israel. And I have a Saturn line through Bulgaria and Israel. And those are, I mean,
On the IC?
I have to look at which
Uh-huh.
one it is,
Uh-huh.
but I've never wanted to go to Bulgaria. I've only been to Israel a couple times. Obviously, it's a really controversial place. It's interesting. There's an Israel parade today while we're recording this.
Wild,
and
yeah.
I mean, I can't stand what the Israeli government is doing
Mhm.
right now. So having a Saturn line through where your family ancestry is from has made it really interesting, because like you can't help who you are. That's
Yeah.
that's the culture I was raised with, but I also find I'm like, what do you say about a Saturn line? How do
I
you
would
find
say
it?
it's a place where you can feel a sense of distance
Mhm.
or restriction, or like there's a wall or a barrier between you and that place. So like
Yeah.
Saturn I find it's often like, oh, it could have been a hard ancestral line or
And I'm
hard
sure
family
it was. I
place.
mean, and Saturn
Yeah.
is fathers too. It's interesting.
Yeah.
My dad.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And it's like I find people often feel stuck or like they can't move when they live
Mhm.
on a Saturn line. So it's really hard to get off
Interesting.
of one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturn's a tough one. And it makes you learn things quickly, but hard lessons.
Yeah.
And so Saturn I see is one of the toughest. I would say if you had to have a malefic, like Mars, Saturn, let's get it on the midheaven, because at least you're giving that planet a job to do. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're channeling all that work in a business or work.
It might be on my midheaven, honestly, because I mean,
Mhm.
my dad is the most hard hustling immigrant you'll ever meet. He had a landscaping business. I worked with him. He's 80 years old. He still does everyone's lawns on the block. Like,
Wow.
he's also a Sag with a Scorpio
Wow.
moon and a Capricorn South node.
Oh,
So
wow.
I know I'd
Yeah.
have to look at his
So your nodes are
Astrocartography.
reversed.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's quite the karmic family.
Yeah.
and then my mom and my little sisters are. So
Wow. Wow.
all in cardinal signs. Well, here's a question about that. So could someone who comes from a place where you have a Saturn line be a mentor in
Yes,
some way? Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
And I find the descendant line. So the descendant is opposite to you. It's other people. It's the lines that are setting, the planets that are setting in on your map. And these are like what is coming toward you, like
Mhm.
what people are entering your life, your clients, your mentors, your teachers.
Mhm.
So I find your friends, your partner. Like I met my husband here in New York on my Mercury descendant line. I have Venus in Gemini. And so Venus and Mercury on the descendant here in New York. And I find
Yeah.
all my friends are here. My teachers are here. Everyone in my life comes from this area. And it's the descendant lines.
Interesting.
And when I've gone to other descendants in the world, like I've been to Tallinn, Estonia, other parts of the world where I have these descendant lines, it's like I get in contact with important people in my life that have a big influence on me.
Okay, that's it. Because I have a Pluto descendant line in London, and I was there doing a team offsite for Dua Lipa's book club staff.
Wow.
And I thought, and I was kind of
Power.
in a power partnership with
Influence.
them. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's that.
So,
It's
okay.
like partnerships that are powerful, influential, can be wealth.
Okay.
Yeah, and I find I've worked with some like Hollywood A-listers and directors and stuff, and they often live on Pluto lines.
Okay.
Specifically like Pluto MC,
Okay.
Pluto descendant, but those are like it's like these people have a lot of power, influence in that location.
Okay. I
And
felt
their
very
career.
powerful while I
Yeah.
was there. I was like, I haven't been here. I was there once in 2006 with my friend
Wow.
Netta, but I just got there and I was like, let's go.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
love it.
It's like, boom,
Oh,
boom. So, okay, that's good. I
wow.
was wondering about a Pluto. Now, let me ask you about about the zodiac sign the
Mhm.
planet is in there, because you've mentioned that you have Mercury here, but also in Gemini. So,
Mhm.
what is the influence of the zodiac sign and then a transit?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, let's just say I have Venus in Scorpio and it's or Pluto, I don't know if it's ascending or whatever it is. So I have
Mhm.
Pluto in Libra
Mhm.
descending through London. So
Mhm.
tell me about the Libra factor. How does that work?
So, well, that's the generation you were born with, right?
Right,
So
right.
that's a lot of people. But what I do like to look at with this is like the timing. So,
Mhm.
like when it's Libra season, when Venus is going through Libra, when Jupiter's going through Libra eventually, right? It's like when it hits that planet, specifically Pluto, I would look to like a degree or exact.
Does it give you degree? I guess that's my next question.
Mhm.
So on my relocation chart, I have Pluto at 4 degrees and 4 minutes Libra when I was born.
And that won't change.
That won't change.
Yeah,
So,
it'll always
okay,
be at
so
that degree.
so maybe when in a couple of years or 3 years or so, Jupiter is at 4 degrees, 4 minutes
Yes.
Libra.
Yes.
It'd be a good idea for me to go to London.
Yes, exactly. And there could be
Okay.
an opportunity, wealth coming in, important clients that come into your life.
Because
Yeah.
Pluto is like power and wealth and that kind of like VIP alchemy
Yes.
connection. And
Yeah.
Jupiter expands and creates abundance. So I could
Mhm.
really,
Yeah, and it's
have a
like
moment there.
exactly. And it's like you can time it. So just adding the transits to the chart. So
Mhm.
adding that to the relocation chart or even just your birth chart, it's like noticing like when a planet is applying to that degree and then hitting it. It's like, oh, go out to that location where you have that line.
Now I'm thinking about Saturn because I have Saturn at 17 degrees Gemini.
Uh-huh.
So Uranus in a few years will be at 17 degrees
Yes.
Gemini. I should probably avoid that line,
And
but
even now,
I don't know.
even now, like as Mercury is going through Gemini,
True,
as the
true.
sun's going through Gemini, even that's only like a few days. The
That's
big
true.
transits are going to be more like when Uranus and Jupiter are like hitting those points. But you know what Jim Lewis created, which I teach in the locational astrology course, he created this method called cyclocartography.
Yeah, what is that?
It's essentially the transits of the outer planets. So Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and then the progressions of the inner planets. So Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars. So it's essentially looking at like, okay, when the sun is progressing through this zodiac sign, it's going to be in this area for 3 years. So for that 2 to 3 year time period, you're getting Sun on Venus. So you might find like you're more creative during those 3 years. You're expressing yourself more. Your style changes.
So I'm looking at the progressed sun transiting or my progressed sun?
Your progressed sun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is an Aquarius now for like 30 years.
Yeah. So if you have any planets in Aquarius,
Pluto.
Leo, Taurus, or Scorpio, it's going to be making a hard aspect to your wait no if you have any placements in the fixed signs, the progressed, you said Aquarius, the progressed sun in Aquarius is going to be making a hard aspect to those planets. And that's what Jim Lewis, he was all about the hard aspects.
Okay.
So like if a transiting planet or progressed planet is hitting one of your planets in a hard aspect, so conjunction, opposition, and square, then that place is really influenced by the timing.
So to kind of pick it apart to make sure I've got it, I take my progress chart, which is, for anyone who hasn't heard of that, it's your chart kind of ages, like the iOS update of your chart to where you are now, which, and with the sun, it's a degree for every year of your life. So I was born with the Sagittarius sun. I've been from like 21 to 47, I was a progressed Capricorn, which is very lucky for building a business, but that's all I did.
Yeah.
And then I became a progressed Aquarius, and now I'm kind of a free spirit until I'm 80. So I would look at that as the chart of comparison to who I am, and then I would compare it to
your chart, your natal chart, or your relocated chart,
to my relocated natal chart.
Yeah,
I wouldn't relocate the progressed chart. I would
No.
relocate my natal chart and be like, oh, okay, I'm a progressed Aquarius. Pluto is here or something like that. Okay.
Yeah. And then even like so for instance, I have a Venus in Gemini. I'm Venus in Gemini. So like my Venus line, when I was living there, the progressed sun was in Gemini around that degree. And so I experienced this new shift in like making YouTube videos and making more cinematic short films, changing my style, getting more into branding. I like built my website, and it was all when that progressed sun in Gemini hit my natal Venus in Gemini. And then the Venus astrocartography line from my natal chart, or from the relocated chart, is going right through there. And so there's different ways you can look at this, but like SolarFire, Astro Gold, there's different softwares where you can pull up the astro map and then click on subsidiary chart feature and then animate the chart. Okay. So that way it's like you can
do that with a regular chart. I didn't know that you could do that for
the maps.
I'm gonna have to like have a jam session with you one day too. Or we should do a little series for our people, because okay. So
and you can literally click play, and then the lines will start moving on the map. Whoa. So you could literally see like, oh, my sun line and Venus is approaching it. The progressed Venus is about to hit the sun. Or even transits, like, oh, I'm getting a Mercury transit these 2 days.
I look forward to the day when I can look at that and be like, yes, instead of, whoa, wait, slow down.
Yeah.
But it happens. Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. Anyone can learn this if you just do it a bite at a time.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the transiting planets then too, because you mentioned progressed, which is a different kind of chart. Like, what if I just had my birth chart on the map and then the planets in the sky right now that you said before, like, so I have a 17 degrees Saturn in Gemini, the sun and Mercury are going to hit that soon.
So your Saturn line on your map is going to be activated. That place is activated those few days.
So what should I do?
You could reach out to people. You could pitch yourself. You could, because if you're not traveling there, it's like you could connect with that place without traveling. So that's, I call it grid activation, but it's Jim Lewis's like remote activation, where it's like you're using the place, the story of a place, without actually going there. Okay. So I like to use it by like setting my VPN to that location, listening to music, watching vloggers that are based in that area, reaching out to people who live there. Like I'll reach out to podcast hosts that are living in my best places when it's being activated by timing. And so you'll get better results.
I guess, now I'm thinking about that because I'm like Bulgaria and that sort of bulk in my family are Sephardic Jews, and they went to Turkey, Bulgaria, and that kind of Balkan Ottoman area. Yeah. And then Israel. So because I have this very complicated relationship to it, which is very Saturn, but then I'm thinking about how could I proactively do. I could write about a
Right.
complicated relationship or talk about it on my
Exactly.
podcast.
Yes.
Which I
That
probably will
story.
today. You know.
It's like that story's coming alive for you those days.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe you're thinking about it more, you're reflecting on it more. And I find it's like your map is literally showing you the stories of your life and where they are. And even if you don't travel there, even if you don't even like reach out to someone there, that story, that place is coming into your consciousness, your awareness, and it's asking you to look at a story that you may have connected to that place. And so journaling on it, you know, talking about it on your podcast, that's a way that a place is being activated for you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've been doing I have a special episode of my podcast called Middle Eastern Misfits, talking to one of my friends who's from Iran. And yeah, I just have a lot of women who are like peace forward Israeli and Arab women friends who are just like, this is not a representation of who we are, the beauty of the culture there, anything. This is a patriarchy, war, and BS. So so there's, you know, maybe it's an opportunity to tell a different story too.
Yeah.
I like that you can take that as a sort of personal growth journey. You could use your astrocartography. Like, what should I be talking about? Where should I be taking a risk right now with the transits? So.
Yeah, I know. And it's like I went out to Dubai when there was a Mars-Uranus square during an eclipse during a Mercury retrograde. And I have a Mars-Uranus parent line, which maybe we could talk about. Parent lines are latitude lines. So
what determines those?
That's when we have two astrocartography lines crossing somewhere on the map. And at that point of intersection, when the two planets on angles are crossing, they form a relationship. That point creates a parent. And so that point, that part of the world is really powerful when those two astrocartography lines cross. But then that radiates outward. So you can follow that latitude all the way around the world. And that story of, like, let's say it's Venus setting and Saturn rising. Right? So Saturn on your sense of self and Venus, or maybe we can do Venus culminating your career. It's like that story of Venus, career, Saturn, self is going around, and you could see other parts of the world where that story comes up too.
Oh, wow.
And so that's where it basically, to make it simple, it's like Santa Barbara is going to be different from Los Angeles.
Yeah,
New York is going to be different from Boston. And you would just see the astrocartography line and think, oh, it's probably similar. We have the same astrocartography line in that area. How different can it be? It can be really different just because of the parent. Are you going a little bit north? Or are you going a little bit south? And the parent basically is like the second step that we look at let me say that again. The parent line is like the second step we look at to determine, should I live here? Do I want to travel here? Should I go more north? Do I go to that city or this one? It kind of gives us more precision and just tells us more about the energy and the story of a place.
And what is the origin of the parent? Is it the same thing? Is it the latitude, longitude? It just, your map creates longitude lines as well. But how come they're not really seen as often as the latitude ones? I mean,
well, you have to have a software that shows it. It's so frustrating. Astro.com, though, if you go to astro.com, there's a free website, and you could use the Astro Click travel feature. When you pull up your Astro map, you can click on the little button that says show details or more details. If you check that little box, there'll be some text that comes up that tells you, like, oh, you have a Mercury-Pluto latitude crossing
I think it does
here.
a really good job of the description.
Yes.
You click on that exact place.
Yes. But the thing is, you can't see where it is. So you might be 40 miles away from it, and then it's not going to be as influential as if you were 10 miles off of it.
Where do you go to find the exact? I mean, or do you just know how to do it?
So I use Astro Gold and SolarFire, but there's other softwares like StarTech is a new app that just came out. And it's really cool. It's like the world is so beautiful to look at on the maps, but they also have, relocation charts, the parents visible on the map, the timing.
StarTech. Okay,
so there's
play around with that.
And that's kind of go back to what we were talking about earlier. There's so many new apps coming out that are doing astrocartography and having all of the features, which I think is so great because we need more of it.
Yeah. But what we're talking about here is like making it useful, making our astrocartography useful by how do you make it useful? Well, learn about yourself so you can become a better person and be of service to others in the world and make an impact and a contribution.
Yeah.
Even if that's through, shining and performing. And, if you draw the spotlight, be a lighthouse and share the light. Don't take it all for yourself. But like however people's gifts are supposed to manifest, it's so It's so great to have that map. So
Yeah.
I
The
can't wait
map,
to learn more.
it gives us so much information as to like where it's best to be. And I've seen so many clients, I've worked with so many clients since I started my business. Their lives change when they move. Like they feel different.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Now, I've noticed when I've looked, like the birthplace is always, is there something that's always at your birthplace?
I mean, that's the
That's got
essential
looks
natal
different.
chart, right?
Yeah,
Like,
when I've done like the map, there's like some different looking symbol in Detroit. So what is
oh,
that?
that's the local space, I think maybe.
Okay.
Is it where the lines are going out like a
Yeah,
fan?
yeah.
That's local space. And so from your place of birth, you can follow those lines and see like, oh, what direction is my Uranus line going through? What direction is my Mercury line going through? Where do I receive a lot of news and information from people? And you can see what cities or towns that energy is moving through. And so,
Yeah.
and that's a second technique. Local space is really
Okay.
fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I mean, gosh, I can't wait for the day that you do write your book because this is going to need to
I
be an
know.
encyclopedia.
Yeah. I know. And I mean, I teach everything in my courses. And we were kind of talking about this the other day. It's like asking yourself, like, what do you really love? What are you really passionate about? I like writing, but I love teaching more. Like, I
Yeah.
love being on Zoom
Mhm.
live and like and breaking things down and showing examples and answering questions. Like, that's the thing I love.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's like there's so many ways we can take astrocartography, whether it's books, whether it's merch, whether it's apps, and it's just like I love teaching.
Yeah.
And I've got
Jupiter.
merch things I'm coming out with, but it's like, and I'm gonna write my book. I still haven't gotten a book deal, so we'll see. I'm waiting for the Jupiter Venus conjunction to be exact to see what's gonna come
in a
up.
week.
Yeah,
I mean,
in a week.
honestly, like as I've worked with people on their brands, it's like it's all content and in different forms.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, my preferred form is writing, yours is filming and teaching. And I mean, we both love teaching,
Yeah.
but I think it's just maybe someone else repackages it for you. But it's like
Mhm.
people want to learn from you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's it's one of the things I'm really passionate about right now in this phase is like I really want to bring astrologers together in community. Because one of the things I'm finding, like as I've gotten bigger over the years, in the last couple of years, it's been weird, and I don't know if you've experienced this at all, where it's like your own students or people that you've mentored, they get jealous or resentful of you, and then they're like they hate you, or even just this trademark issue.
I hope that hasn't happened, but
yeah,
but
no,
also,
yeah.
I'm not doing something like astrocartography seems to be the thing that it's like
Very elitist.
Yeah, it's like for some reason it's like Vedic astrology or even human design. It became this newer thing that I think people who were born in an age where there's scarcity and competition to be seen.
Oh my gosh, there's
It's
this
like
one
jealousy,
woman.
probably.
There's this one woman, she's an astrocartographer, and I've never seen her before, but she commented on my video saying, "Oh, so interesting to see that you took my video or whatever. You made this video right after mine." And I'm like, "I don't even know who you are."
Wow.
And then she sent a message to my student basically telling her like I'm a fraud, I'm a scam, all this stuff. And it's like, why are fellow astrocartographers trying to undermine their competition like this? Like, this is nasty. And
I think the thing that I've obsessed over that too. It's astrology, you can get certified, but it's not a licensed profession.
Yeah.
It's a skill, but it's not considered a hard skill.
Yeah.
And so anyone can enter the field, including people who aren't fully well or grounded in some of the realities of the day-to-day world. And they imagine things or have kind of delusions of grandeur sometimes. It's easy enough for that to happen. And there's no kind of checks and balances.
No. And it's made me like, I came into astrology because I wanted to make community. I wanted to make friends. I wanted to find my people that I could talk to about things. And just from the success has also gained more hate, more resentment, or just people who don't believe me, that don't believe that I'm authentic, that don't believe my life is real, that think it's a scheme, it's a scam, that my business, because I do so well, it's all, it's like people can't believe that like, oh, a young woman can be successful,
Right.
make money, and be a kind person and want everyone else to succeed too. It's like a lot of people can't wrap their minds around that.
And as someone who's literally 22 years older than you, I just would like everyone to know that you booked a studio at 8:30 a.m. on a Sunday when the entire city is shut down for a parade with some of the highest security they've ever had in New
know.
York. And still, here you are,
Yeah.
Positive, camera ready, all, found the studio. You're here
Yeah.
from Paris. You weren't even
Yeah.
supposed to be in New York, and you made this
Yeah.
happen. And that is why you're successful. Because you're
Exactly.
unstoppable, not because you're
Yeah.
taking something from someone else.
Yes. I'm a workhorse.
You
And I'm
are.
obsessed. And it's just yeah, it's been hard for me. The last year has been really hard on my spirit of
Mhm.
like dealing with haters and like the internet and like people who are just mean.
What
And
house is your sun in?
my son's in
Placidus?
my 7th and my
7th,
moon
okay.
is on the midheaven in the 10th. And so it's like all this
So is mine.
projection.
That's funny. My moon is on the midheaven
Yes.
too, but in the night, I think I'm a
Yes.
Sag sun in the 11th with Neptune with my sun. I'm like, what? Someone doesn't like me?
I
Why? So
know.
luckily, I think I miss it. But I'm
Yes.
sure, the thing the wolf that you feed is the one that grows.
Yeah. I
So
love that. I love that
yeah,
phrase. Yeah.
and it's so hard not to, especially if I was 32, I would be probably much
Yeah.
more affected by it. Like, why don't
Yeah.
they like me?
I know. And just like Reddit threads that are just not based on truth. And it's like
Oh,
I want to
yeah.
defend myself and say it's all lies, but it's like it's not worth my time because I don't want to give my energy to these people. They're not going to leave me anyway.
Yeah, I think we are in a time when it's easier for people to talk shit and bully and, troll and be
Yeah.
mean. So yeah, I think what you're doing with your spiritual, like tuning in
Yeah.
every day, be like, okay, what am I doing what am I reflecting to those people that they don't want to see in themselves? You're casting light into their shadows, but they can't be with those shadows. So they're
Yeah.
projecting it back onto you.
What advice would you have for like people who want to be astrologers, who want to get into this, but they are afraid? Because I've had a lot of students that like want to do this, but like they've stopped because the clickiness, the competitiveness, the elitism within
Yeah.
the astrology spaces. What advice would you give?
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny to me because when I started, it was like there was none of that. Nobody wanted to be an astrologer. They didn't even know what it was. So now to see that I think COVID made like a surge of learning,
Yeah.
and there's not the same barrier of entry to learning astrology. Anyone can, which is beautiful. But if you're going to create it as a business and a
yeah.
livelihood,
Yeah.
that means you need to get another set of skills.
Mhm.
My advice is one of my favorite books is called Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley, and he has a method called 7-11-4, where in order to go from being obscure to known, his theory is you need to create 7 hours of bingeable content, 11 different touch points around your topic, and be seen in 4 different places. I decided to apply
Ooh.
that when I went in a new direction with my brand. I was like, I can't just expect this to be an overnight success. I estimate it'll take 18 to 24 months for the 7-11-4 to take root.
Ah.
And it gave me the sense of inner peace and patience and just keep going, keep 7-11-4ing. One day you cross the tipping point. Now, a lot of people don't want to
Mhm.
do that. They feel like, why should I have to do that when it's so easy? And
Yeah.
maybe you're right. You are right. It is
Mhm.
not fair
Yeah.
that some people have to work harder than others.
Mhm.
But when you do cross that threshold, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So I just think patience and persistence, get a mentor, team up, make this freaking fun.
Yeah.
Get some perspective and remember, like you said, we're here for a short time.
Yeah.
Like it's not worth that
Yeah.
level of angst.
Yeah. And I gotta say, when I'm on my Jupiter ascendant and my moon midheaven line in California, it's like nothing touches me.
Oh yeah.
I
well,
like it
yeah,
doesn't.
simply relocate, I
I
guess,
know. I do think about it because living in France on my Saturn ascendant line,
Oh, you
when
are?
things
you're in a
do,
Saturn.
yeah,
Right.
when things do hit me, it's like a slow burn, and it
Might
hits
be why this
harder.
stuff is bothering you.
Yes,
It's like you're seen
more.
as this authority, but also
Yes.
having to deal with that.
Yes. Whereas when I'm in California and I get the same amount of stuff, doesn't hit. It's like, it doesn't even hit me. It ricochets off me. It's like water off a duck's back. And I'm like, I do think a lot about like, maybe I need to get back out to California
or like
and
visit,
maybe spend like 4 months there and then the rest of the year in France. Cause I do love France. It's my home. It's the only place I've ever felt that sense of home.
I mean, it's amazing that you live there too.
I know, but I kind of want to do both. So that's kind of the next thing. But
yeah.
And what line do you have in New York?
I think Venus.
Venus. Yeah. Cause Miami, you have Venus like directly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you loved
I think
it.
it's directly in New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't love the like weird MAGA-ness of Florida or anything now, but like just the pure like sun, palms, like, I don't know, just the energy in the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, woo.
And Venus is so great for like, I call it the simple joys line.
Yeah.
But it's like connecting with like slowing down, smelling the roses, connecting with creativity, connecting with like, what do you love?
I did. I was just like, ooh, where am I going to go sit and write and this and walk on the beach and have a great conversation and friends. So, which I feel like in New York too. So that's fascinating. I mean, yeah, I'm just thinking about the people that are like trying to break into astrology now. Like I've started teaching myself and now other people how to do agentic vibe coding with the caveat of how to have the least environmental footprint because you can't, that's very controversial. But
yeah, I love
if you don't like something the way it's done, rally your friends and do it yourself. I created my magazine that way too. And then see women who look like me and my friends in the magazines. So we made our own. Like,
I love it.
You don't need a fucking permission slip. That's what I have to say to everybody.
No, life is short. Go do it.
Yeah.
You just need to give yourself permission.
Spoken by 2 women with Jupiter on the ascendant.
Yes.
Let's be fair. But hey, I've got Mercury retrograde in my 10th house. I've got Saturn retrograde in Gemini, and still I have a writing career.
Exactly.
So,
and you're a prolific writer. You've written so many books.
Yeah. So like sometimes the retrograde or the challenge makes you work harder for something. So I think you should. You're on a Saturn line. Well, just tough it out.
Yeah. And that woman who trademarked Astrocartography, who owns it in France now, she's not going to get me to move because I love where I live.
No way. Oh my God. I mean, it's going to be fascinating to see how this karmically plays out. It's called winning the battle and losing the war.
Yes.
Like people are already on Twitter talking about blacklisting her. It's like,
no, I mean, I don't think that's fair.
It's not. It's like, I mean, those weren't my words, but they're like, let's shun her. I was like, oh God. Now look at the negativity that like hate creates.
Exactly.
Hate.
I don't like, and that's why I didn't share her name.
Yeah.
On social media.
Someone else did, and they found it handily. So it's.
Oh no.
But that's not your responsibility. That's her. That's the result.
Yeah.
That she created by her actions.
Yeah.
And every moment is a choice. You can say, you know what? I'm going to issue a public apology. The world is forgiving. I have the same birthday as Britney Spears.
Wow.
So the icon of someone who has,
I love
second chances.
Yes.
So, look, you can always reinvent yourself and make a comeback if you show humility and that you've changed, and then keep your word and have integrity.
And show your heart too.
If you have one.
Yeah.
Well, we all do. I'm just also like, I'm sorry, like to this woman. I'm like, what happened that made you so, who got into your head?
Who got into your head? I know, because even like my emails that I looked at yesterday, it's like all this love and kindness. It's like, how do you go from that to that?
That's also something, like in this for another episode, but another convo, but with 2027 coming and this new 412-year human design era, we're moving out of the planning era, which was all about this is mine, this is yours, da da da. That's ending February 15th, 2027. It's in the breakdown phase. Over the last couple years, we've seen people turn into narcissistic abusers, we've seen people turn into, just not themselves.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
like get into this kind of cult mindset with MAGA and nationalist leaders all over the world. It's like, what is going on? This mass psychosis, and whatever spell she's under
Yeah.
energetically, may it break.
Yeah.
Waving the wand.
I know. And may we all use astrocartography, the word, even more now. And I've been telling my,
Yeah,
my followers
exactly.
online on
Say
Instagram,
it.
I've been saying double down, get loud, use astrocartography everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, let's show her that we're not afraid to use the word.
Show her there's a better way. There's what she should, I hope she sees, if I'm going into the highest vibration of this, like, look at this beautiful community that you have separated yourself. All pain and suffering comes from separation. Separateness is an illusion. We are already all in relationship and connected. So you have opted to buy into the illusion of separation.
Yeah.
And it's lonely.
Yeah, it is.
Painful. You may have material 3D things. The world is elevated way beyond the 3D. You are in the freaking matrix.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
like, it's going to be lonely and
Yeah.
painful and hard, no matter what line. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what lines of something
I
else
know.
you're doing
Well,
to think that's
my
a good idea.
student, someone just sent me her birth chart because they were in a Kepler class with her. And
Oh,
she
wow.
had her class, she put her chart up in the class. So I have her chart. Saturn's going through her 10th.
Ooh.
And she's got her Mars
She
and
have a
early
business
Aquarius.
manager giving her terrible advice.
I don't know. And Pluto's going to hit her Mars soon in the 8th. The ruler of her MC is in the 8th house of other people's resources. It's like,
She
literally.
might want to go review her,
I know, this was
natal
not the
astrologer.
time. I know. Look at your
Like,
transits,
yeah,
woman. Like, this is not the
whoa.
time to be doing this kind of thing
Well,
ever.
she's getting a result consistent with the
Yeah.
transits. Then,
Yeah.
you know what? I hope for anyone,
Yeah.
like even the people who who are the
Yes,
villains of the
yes,
moment, that they have an
yes.
awakening
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
what's possible
Yeah.
when you like pull yourself opt out of that.
And choose the higher path and see community, not competition, and see how
Community
we
is
can come
best.
together, and why there's abundance everywhere. There's enough to go around. There's possibility everywhere. I literally, we're Jupiter on the Senate people, but it's like, I see there's ways to make money in a million ways at any given moment.
Yeah.
In
Come up
any
with a
given
name
moment.
for come up with a different name for
Yeah.
astrocartography that's your unique style,
Yeah.
and trademark that
Yeah.
to your heart's content.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like that's all you had to do.
I know.
Well,
Wild.
but I mean, I guess I would say, like, let's ask ourselves collectively, as we're in this age of Aquarius, why is this happening to us? How is this happening for us?
Yeah.
How could this be for us
Yeah.
instead of against us?
This has been so great. And so your students have $100 off for the course
Oh,
if they ever
awesome. I
wanted
can't
to
wait.
learn this.
Oh, no, they will, and I'm going to share it.
Yeah.
So, yes, Astro Style people,
Yes.
we're going to give you $100 off.
And-
And you also have 15% off code for Astro Gold,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Right?
Oh yeah, Helena 15. You can use my
Yeah,
code
okay,
Helena
cool.
15
Okay,
and get
good.
15% off Astro Gold. That's the software I use for everything.
I love it. It's
Transits,
my
all-
favorite.
Yeah, it's the best. And they're always making updates.
They
They
are.
added the parents to the map. They're always adding new things. I
Yeah,
love it.
they're an Australian company,
Yeah.
I think.
And
Yeah.
she's fighting the woman at Astro Gold, Steph. She is fighting this trademark issue.
Ooh.
She's so great. She's so lovely.
Okay, I need to meet Steph.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's my favorite software.
Yeah.
Phone, iPad, desktop,
Yeah.
all.
It's
Yeah.
the best.
Oh,
Ophi, thank you so much for coming on
my
and
God.
we got to do this. Where can
Ah.
people find you too?
Astro Twins on YouTube, on Instagram, astrostyle.com.
Cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I'm helenawoods.com. You can get my free astrocartography cheat sheet on my website at Helena Woods, and
Okay,
then
I have
helenawoods.com. And then my website, my YouTube channel and Instagram is Miss Helena Woods.